guys, it's Mike with Vant Trading, and here is your trade of the day for today. Pretty whippy day again, just like we had all week. It's been a pretty tough trading week with the pinning action we've been getting in a lot of the indices and the assets being traded. So, but we did have a pretty good trade, which I think you guys will learn a lot. We have a couple of our mentors on. Again, it's a trade that I did. I promise you we're going to have one of our mentors trades on there, but I think you'll like it. Drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Thanks. Okay. So today was just an interesting day, a little bit different day. And what I want to do is kind of start off with looking at the ES on the daily chart. So if you guys remember in the pre-market when we were talking, Simon, what level did I say was like the level today? Do you remember?
39.28.
39.28, right? And not that I'm some kind of rocket scientist or anything like that, but I mean, you can look right here, and 39.28 is the high of this from, the high of the previous high we made off of the low, okay, before coming back down, retracing, and then making a new high. So 39.28, we always talk about breakouts where we break out and then, A plus setups are ones that come back in and retest and then they go again, right? So that's why I thought 39.28 was going to be a big deal. Now, I know a lot of people pre-market with, the market gapping down, were expecting some kind of maybe reversal or big drop, right? But we do have OPEX this week, and there's heavy concentration of puts. Yesterday, even though we're in breakout mode in a bull flag as of yesterday, we had the put call ratio that was the highest in 40 years, up to like 1.49. So a lot of puts putting on. So it just didn't seem like that was going to be the payoff trade. I'm not saying we won't go down, but, from a fundamental thesis, if everybody's sitting on one side, typically the market is set up for max pain. So I did not see us really just falling apart today. And add that in with OPEX, and I think this is what we got. But, you did have a bull flag here. You had a nice little break of that bull flag. So I could see where a lot of people were positioned short. But it's, again, just a tough, choppy week. But we had a pretty good game plan. And if you look in here, Simon, remember, we've talked about it a couple times. In Desire, we've talked about it a couple times, the 100, right? How, these moving averages on the daily chart sometimes are good areas of value to find support. So right here, we have a nice little support there. So it was a nice setup on the daily chart. Now, if we go in a 30-minute, you can see it a little bit easier. Here's that top out. Now, what's interesting is, we use Fibonacci's a lot. And you can see, drawing a Fibonacci from the low of the year to that high, that 39.28 level that we're talking about, you can see these extensions, how they really come into play, and came into play this week. So Fibonacci really giving us a good little measuring guide. So, again, technically, this was like a bull flag consolidation. Very bullish going into today. And then, of course, we gapped down. We broke that. But again, you need to see confirmation. So they broke it. And then we immediately came right back up, back into the flag area. So technically, this is very, very bullish action on the market. Okay. So, and if you look here at the 5-minute, you can kind of see, we pretty much have been pinned in here, 40.50 down into like 39.50. That's why I thought 39.50 was an important area to kind of watch today. And, really, if you look at these lows, each low of the day kind of, through the week kind of had a play today. So if you look here, Yesterday's low, it's where we topped out right here. If you look here the day before, this is where we're kind of topping out in the pre-market. So, all these lows throughout the week kind of, were kind of lids for us in here for a trading day today. And again, of course, when you get a gap down, one of the key things you want to look at least from a stock standpoint, is can that stock that's gapping down reclaim the prior day's low? And for a lot of stocks, and you look at BABA, you look at AMD and stocks like that, they had really good updates today, and you were able to catch them if you were on the right side, because they had, once they reclaimed that prior day's low, then that should give you the all signals go. So just interesting trading day. And if you look at the pre-market, really this setup, really I talked about it. We were flags coming down. So, Simon, do you have anything you want to add as far as the setups today, as far as how the market's structured here?
Right. So if we can actually back out to the daily chart, so that 39.28 level, it was the prior swing high, like you mentioned, but if you look left, it's also an important over-under level. But what I gained from that area is the profile. I like to look at the quarterly profile, and Q3 point of control came in at 39.18. So coming into confluence with, again, that 39.28 area. And also that's all the daily chart. But if we can go back to the intraday, so Thursday of last week, it was a naked point of control, because since we were both flagging higher. So Thursday's point of control was 39.18 as well. So confluence there to meet it in the overnight session. Like you mentioned, the bear flags down. And also what I was looking at as well was that the ADR values were exhausted. So a strong, or rather a weak overnight session, pretty much vertical down. So they caught a bottom, higher lows into it, like you have drawn on that trend line.
Right.
And inside the session, developing during the initial balance, and they buy it out.
And here's that 39.28 area. So, it's definitely, and I had it definitely was an area to kind of watch off today. Now, I did catch a nice little short here on this rejection, caught some points in there. But my main trade, believe it or not, to me, one of the best setups was this bounce area right into here. This was a nice bounce at the 330 mark, and gave us a nice little ride out. And that was kind of the trade that I was looking at and taking. So that's, again, I traded some stocks pre-market. Had, I was kind of leaning the wrong way. Wasn't really excited about it. Didn't trade much during the day, and then coming into the afternoon, this is pretty much caught this thing right here, which almost to the tick, hit in there. And then once you see this basing and then this rally out of here, they go right up into view up, and then you have this nice consolidation here at the 39.36 level, and then they took it out, and it was just a nice little ride. 20 points on the ES at $50 a point is $1,000 per contract traded on that trade. So nice little trade there. Desire, anything that you want to add as far as this trade in here?
So most of the time, for me, for ES, I use 50 moving average on 1 minute.
Okay.
So if it is below 50 moving average, I say that is downtrend. If you use it on the market, you can see it can remove or it can show you different setups. But I get also reversal when the price is above 50 moving average. And also when RSI is above 16, it comes above 16, I get a reversal signal. And for below there you put, let me share my screen. This can possible.
Oh, I don't have the capability here when I'm recording.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yes. Yes.
But I'll set that
So
up for the next meeting that we have.
yes, yes. So if the price is below 50 moving average, so I say that it is a downward trend. If it is a good sloping down, and also when the other side it is starting to make higher lows, and also the price also making higher lows for I get is reversal. Just I get it. I'm getting some very good result if I use that strategy in the ES and the and the forex because I'm trying to check it in the random session.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Love that. Love that analysis. Thanks, Desire. So anyhow, this was a pretty decent trade. And, again, like I said, getting 20 points on the ES, when you're trading, I mean, what do you think about this trade in here, Simon? I mean, I didn't catch this one. I wish I did. But this was a nice little pullback into an important level, the 39.42 level, and then kind of ran up to what I was looking at. So
Right. I was also eyeing the potential. Now, I didn't get there all the way, but well, actually did. Prior days low at 39.62. It actually tapped out, but
yes,
really that previous, if you look left, that previous breakdown we had, sorry, all the way left in the overnight session.
yes.
So we broke down from that area, then we bought off the bottom and came back to retest during the middle of the session, which I think personally was a good trade. You had 3 pushes up. If we go back on the right, continue to the right. So sorry, up into that 39.62 level.
Gotcha.
Yes, so we had 3 pushes up. They failed it, sort of an M pattern, but the right side is broken down. But I typically look for that 3 pushes for a reversal signal.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got that. You got to push here, and then you kind of got to push here,
right?
And then you get the breakdown, and that's a good point to kind of look at when you're analyzing it. That is an important. Obviously, this was an important level for me in the past, and you got this. I love these. In futures, you get a lot of wicks. If you notice this wick here, this liquidity grab was where I was able to grab. Where I was able to grab a nice order and take it up. Well, this, you got a nice liquidity grab up here, a second failure, and then the third failure comes in. They couldn't, the buyers are exhausted at this point, and that's what happens, right? So this wick grabs in the traders that chase, right? And then they puke some people out, and then they run it right back up, and then they puke people out even lower, right? That's the key. Made it lower, and then they couldn't even get that third wave up. The buyers are just completely exhausted, and then you get a wind all the way back down, which set me up for my trade.